But when it's not women on their minds, it can only be one other thing.
You think we can again?
I'm happy enough at it. But there'd be a long day in the garage too. Especially when you're looking out and you see the sun shining and you know there's grass. So you'd be waiting on the clock to tick 5:30 and the buzzer to go off. Then you know the crack's about to start.
Grass fever just.
You'd have the hands washed nearly before 5:30 to get away on the grass.
It's like a bug, isn't it?
I know when it's on, you'll be getting tired of it if there's long days, but when you're waiting for it to start, you're kind of looking forward to it.
You come out for the crack, but it's good old value. That's what I like about it.
My wife thinks we're all nuts, like it's a disease.
Well, you'd have grass fever alright, eh?
Sunny day in Fermanagh's a rare thing, and then everybody wants you.
You know, for the hours that's in it and the hardship that's in it and any other walk of life now, you wouldn't be at it.
And it doesn't matter if we're working to 2 o'clock tonight here, the next farmer still wants you there at 8 o'clock.
Kieran there, he's worse than me, nearly grass fever. He has it all year round.
The whole lot of grass is a drug. You know, it's an addiction.
Whatever, Toby, can't wait to come back next year.
Yet come the start of it, every man's mad to get at it.
Well, it's just a real rat race. Green fever is all I could call it.
We made a lot of DVDs in these episodes and the coffee's getting well down here. I don't know, we might have to get a top up. That's why we came to a coffee shop. I knew this would take time. In the last episode we looked at what I called the DVD that really kick-started GRASSMEN, the Full of the Pipe DVD. It was so different, so many different camera angles and things that we tried from a production point of view, looking at the very best of kit that money could buy at the time. It was all about the kit and people loved that. And the next DVD was GRASSMEN Green Fever, and when it was produced and put out there, this one here, when it was put out there, it very quickly became, did I like Full of the Pipe more or did I like Green Fever more? It was very much like that, and we deliberately went about this DVD in a completely different way than Full of the Pipe. We made Full of the Pipe was all about the machines. It was about the Clash of the Titans, which is one of the titles in Full of the Pipe, about the big harvesters against each other, the race, the drama, the power, everything that comes with silage. See the way even I can animate it in the voice, there's something about horsepower gets us going. But in Green Fever, we wanted to take it back. Obviously it's always about the machines, let's be honest, but we wanted to start and really focus on the people. So we then had a choice to make. Where do we go? We're going to have to start and step outside of County Antrim. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to have to move a bit further. So we started thinking, and we had heard about Barry Reid, Reid Agri Contracts down in Fermanagh. We knew from my days working around County Down with porters about the McKelveys. The McKelveys were a very big operation around there between their hardware store, lorries and contract and whatnot. So we knew about them. We thought, they'd be a good match. And then we said, right, boys, all in. We're going to have to make big changes here. We're going to have to drive. Came across this operation called Troy, Mark Troy. And oh my, down in Cork, running around with his 970, twin engine at the time, and changed it every year or every second year. 434 JCB, Fint tractors, Massey tractors, guys, and we fell in with them. We rung, we tried to understand. The language barrier was difficult at the start as we were branching out. North Antrim and West Cork are two very different accents. But you know what, we loaded up and we headed off down to Cork and we started to video Mark Troy and his team, and we were just blown away. Blown away from the point of view was we had drove all those miles and we were stood with exactly like-minded people who had the most serious love and passion and desire for the machine. I thought it was just us nuts up here. At that time, I thought it was just us. And we got speaking to Mark Troy. He was really showing off in his 970 because he had her well-tuned, well-set, going like a mouse eating paper and just putting grass through it at a phenomenal rate. There was silos with no walls. what was that all about? My head was taking a lot of getting used to this, and we were looking at silos getting buck raked, no walls to push up against, and I was like, I haven't seen anything like this before, and I'm used buck raking and things, and it was fantastic. Now everybody might laugh at me, but that's how it was for us. We were only learning about this job that we love so much in different countries, and that's exactly what it was. Even though it was only 300 odd miles away, that's how it was. We were not used to seeing anything like that. And then Barry Reid, well, Barry Reid is the guy for me that stands out in that DVD, because we get introduced to Fermanagh. Now, I had been to Fermanagh a few times, a few wee weekends and stuff. Fermanagh's wet. Fermanagh's very wet. And here's Barry Reid running big kit in wet Fermanagh. And in my head, how does this work? And he's not a mainstream player. He's running Valtras. Valtras. Lots of Valtras. That was where I was coming from. He just swore by him, loved them. And we were like, what are we running all these Valtras for? New Holland Forager, again, a little bit different. Why a New Holland Forager and not New Holland tractors? Didn't really make sense. You're trying to compute. So we got talking to Barry, we got chatting to Barry, and so much so that what was very interesting was, as they were really struggling with wet conditions, and a lot of that DVD, based with Barry Reid and the guys down there, was showing up the wet conditions. We literally, the next day, were back in County Down with McKelvey's, and they were filling silage into a lorry in the middle of a field. And Barry Reid was trying not to get stuck the night before. In actual fact, he did get stuck the night before. The chain was out the night before, and it was all captured. And Barry was very open to allowing us to capture the real side of the job for him. And that was the one thing that shone through for me in this. This is reality. This is my reality. We go out, we get stuck. It does happen. I was used in County Antrim, County Down, working to contractors that if you get stuck, you were extremely embarrassed about it. You couldn't dare tell anyone you get stuck. And here we are. That shit happens every day. And you're like, what? No, you need, and that was where it come from. And, I suppose McKelvey's time moves along now. They've stepped back from the silage work, the silage job. And Mark Troy is pushing on. He's just more of the same. We caught up with him, and he's been a part of the brand since then. And he's just has what we call the Grass Monster, the 980, and he has it upgraded now to a 990. Man's lethal. And Barry, we introduced Barry to some New Holland tractors, and he has bought a couple of them now, so times change. And it's great that we can look back, have a chat with these guys, and these are the relationships that we're building, so you can see the picture now from GRASSMEN's point of view, from our point of view. We're not just going in and saying hello to someone and then just disappearing. There's guys that we create a resonance with, and we try it and work with them and chat to them. And when we're in tough times, we can go and have a chat with them. Like when the coronavirus was giving us real issues and troubles, we were able to go and sit down with Barry at a safe distance and have a chat with him. That's the sort of people that we like to work with. So Green Fever, for me, was just a little experiment of moving back from focus purely on machines to focusing on the people. And it worked. It worked extremely well. And I will challenge anyone, you will either prefer this or follow the pipe. Very few people will say we like both equal. Some people like listening to the stories of other people. Some people just want to see machines and they will prefer follow the pipe. And we're fully aware of that. So in the first 3 DVDs that we've covered up to now, we've learned so much about people and what people want to see and the way they want to go. And, obviously we kept all our different camera angles and things going, and you've got to keep the quality of the footage to the best that you can, and we're learning. We're in a situation now where we're able to buy our first vehicle and dedicate it to moving for rolling shots, because we learnt that from Follow the Pipe. So Green Fever's seen the introduction of the famous Land Cruiser that we brought in, And thankfully it's not there anymore, but we better not say anything because Eddie Gamble bought it. But anyway, so that's green fever.